Hey up, me ducks. How are we doing? It's lovely to see so many people here in the chat. Just gonna have a sup of my coffee. I've actually got a big steaming mug of coffee today. You know, sometimes you go into the kitchen and a cup of tea just doesn't quite do it. And you're like, I need a coffee. I've not had one since about 6 o'clock this morning, so that was 13 hours ago. Anyway, before it gets really, really busy, let's do the hellos to everybody who's been in and waiting. So first one in was Magus. Nice to see you, and thank you for your kind words. And then Thace, how are you doing, Thace? We've got Anne and Marilyn. I need to come back to you, Marilyn. William, hello, William. We've got our Lily Rose and Gruen. How are you doing, Gruen? Hi, Bry. There's not many people who call me Bry. Sandra's here. Hi, Sandra. And we have Ange. Hello, Ange. You've dropped Ange from your name now, I see, but always associate Roots and Wings, Ange. We have Yasmin. Nice to see you. Who else do we have? Elspeth. Hello, Elspeth. We've got Caroline. How are you doing? Saskia. Deanne's here. Hello, Deanne. It's lovely to see you. And Dawn the Prawn. Hello. I always have to say Dawn the Prawn, don't I? I can't just say Dawn. I love it. Rolls off the tongue. Dawn the Prawn. We've got Mal16. Hello. Not seen you before, but welcome. Nothing so strange. Nice to see you. Warm and sunny. Oh, it's not warm and sunny here. We have Kathy. Hello, Kathy. We also have Siren Phoenix. Hello. Our Cheryl's here. Hi, Cheryl. Nice to see you. We have Nancy. We have Moon Daisy. Old Man Ferdinand. Nice to see all of you. Rolf. Sarah. Robin. Hi, Robin. We have Geese J. Trisha. Becca, hey up, Becca. Nice to see you. Raven Song, hello. We have Adam, hi, Adam. And Sparkly Warbler. Patrice, hello, Patrice. Lovely to see you as well. And that's it. We're caught up. So, firstly, blessed Imolk to everybody. I love this. I love this Samat because I really, I've mentioned it many times over the years, but I really, really dislike January and February. I just find them very dark, very long, proper bleak midwinter. And Imolk gives that first kind of recognition to the returning of the light, doesn't it? And gives you hope that spring is coming, because I love spring. Spring is just for me when you first walk out and you feel the sun on your face after a cold, long, dark winter, and you see the buds, and it's just lovely, isn't it? So blessed Imolk to everybody. And is anybody recognizing it anyway, doing any rituals, going to any celebrations? Let's move that chat down. I just realized my chat was way back when I first entered the room. Sunny and cold Imolk in Montreal, -14, but feels like -18. The darling buds of May, yeah, a little bit early, but you do, don't you? And there's still like the snowdrops, and yeah, it's just really nice. But I love it. And last Sunday, actually, if you saw the vlog that I did last week, we didn't go too far away. We only went an hour and a half, perhaps, from here. in South Yorkshire, and we did some sights, but it was a blue sky all day. And it felt very Imbolc, you know, it felt like there was still that chill in the air. You still needed your winter coat, but it was fresh, but it was blue sky. And there were certain parts of the day where I could feel the warmth from the sun on my face, and that was really lovely. Got like a little lump under my like a little knot. Don't know what that is. Just noticed it as I was rubbing my hands together. But yeah, blessed Imbolc. I'll be making my altar this evening. Even in Barcelona, it's freezing in January. Marilyn's going to be doing an Imbolc meditation later. That'll be cool. I read the Lunar Moon Hair section earlier, and I'm also reading this. And if anybody's picked up this book, it's called Raising Hair, and it's a beautiful read. The whole feel of it is very tactile, antiseptic. It's under the skin. It's like it's in the muscle of my hand. It's got a rose petal cover. It's got this beautiful gold lettering, and to buy over here it's $18.99, but they had it. I was in Sainsbury's this morning just getting a few bits, and on their book section it was £10, and it's hardback edition. And I just started reading it this afternoon. I caught up with some things that I'd recorded in the week, and I thought, I'll start this book, and it's the most beautifully written. And I love anything to do with hairs anyway, as you know. You can see. But it's a true story. It's about a woman who moves from the city during lockdown back to the countryside where she grew up. Giselle made me do it. Giselle got this as well. And she stumbles across a leveret, a baby hare, and rescues it and raises it. But it's written so beautifully. In fact, I'll just read you the inside sleeve. A captivating, uplifting story about a chance encounter that proved utterly transformative. When lockdown led busy professional Chloe to leave her city and return to the countryside of her childhood, she never expected to find herself custodian of a newly born hare. Yet when she finds the creature endangered, alone, and no bigger than her palm, she is compelled to give it a chance at survival. Raising Hare chronicles their journey together and the challenges of caring for the leveret and preparing for its return to the wild. We witness firsthand an extraordinary relationship between human and animal, rekindling our sense of awe towards nature and wildlife. This improbable bond of trust serves to remind us that the most remarkable experiences, inspiring the most hope, often arise when we least expect them. But as I said, there's not a lot of, the text is quite spaced out. There's not a lot of text on each page. It's only about 200 something pages. So I thought, I'll give it a go. Anyway, started reading it this afternoon and really, really enjoyed it. Hello, Rebecca. I wanted to pick it up today, but never managed to get into town. Giselle has just read this one. Has she? Has she mentioned it on her channel? Because I don't recall her seeing it. Unless that was it, I've seen it, and that was in my subconscious when I went into the supermarket. Because I was just walking down that aisle to get to an aisle I wanted to go to, because I don't usually go down the book aisle. And I just seen this hare looking out at me on the shelf, and so I picked it up and I thought, I might give that a go. And it's only £10. Sounds amazing. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really nice book. It's written, like I say, written beautifully. I haven't followed your YouTube in around a month now, Simon. Whenever I come back to watch you, it always feels like coming back home. Oh, well, welcome back. I don't think it's been on a channel, right? That might be Might be why then. Oh, it's half price at Waterstones as well, Cheryl says, £9.50. So even 50p cheaper than what I paid. But if you haven't got a Waterstones, Sainsbury's have got it on offer at £10 as well. I've got a fab book called The Way of the Hare, says Becca. Hello, Kim. Nice to see you. Okay, I wanted to do a channel shout out. So this person, lovely person, has started a channel. And I should have put a black background on, shouldn't I? Let's just see if that will do it. No, it won't. Still got me on. But anyway, Marilyn's Tarot Take. So our Marilyn, who's here in the chat, has started a channel, and I'm really excited. I watched her. It's less than a week old. I watched her first video, I think on Sunday. I think that's when she launched the channel as well. It says 5 days, but you have to get past a certain time before it clicks over to 6 days. I think it was Sunday. And Born Natural. And Marilyn, I haven't watched it yet because I was getting ready for this live, but about an hour or so ago, her second video has gone up. So do hop over to Marilyn's channel and give her a sub. She's always been very supportive of this channel, always in our chats, and it's lovely to see somebody, because it's not an easy thing to do, you know, that first time hitting the record button and becoming a content creator. So if we could give her a lot of love and support, I'll flash it up again so you can see the exact name. So Marilyn's Tarot Take, and Marilyn is in our chat now. So yeah, give her a love. I don't even mind if you go out now and do it. We can wait. Let's have a look, see if I'm missing any questions. That's just not about the book, which I've covered. I think caught up with them. Adam says, Simon, do you have any of the Tarocca Studio decks, Dark Mansion Tarot, Slavic Legends? I got their 6th deck, the Fairy Tale Journey Tarot. I've got Dark Mansion. I've got Dark Mansion, the luxury edition in the wooden box. I haven't got the Slavic one. I do have, I think this is Tarocca as well. I'm going to knock things everywhere now. I seem to think that this one is theirs also. The Elemental Wisdom Tarot. Sure. It's beautiful. It's got the similar backs. Doesn't say the name, but it's got the certificate of authenticity there. I'm sure it is. Just subscribed. It's lovely that people are subscribing. Yeah, these are the backs, which are very much like the Dark Mansion. Beautiful matte gold. Yeah, and this deck is gorgeous. Really is. Let me show you the Hermit. I love the Hermit in this deck. Rose petal finish. It's in the same style as the Dark Mansion in terms of their luxury edition as well. So yeah, great deck. And I think I prefer this one to Dark Mansion. It's not that I don't like Dark Mansion, it's just it had its moment for me. Cards are beautiful. Look at this 5 of coins. Some beautiful, beautiful images. What's the difference between linen and rose petal? So rose petal is exactly as it sounds. You know, if you was to go into a rose, you go to a rose and rub your fingers over the petal. That's the finish on this. It's almost like a rubbery. Some people have called it skin. I wouldn't call it skin, but it's that rose petal. I don't know if anybody knows the cologne called Amen by Thierry Mugler. The bottle has that same, almost like a rubbery feel, but it's really nice, soft, matte. Some people say it's hard to shuffle, but I haven't had any problems shuffling it. Whereas linen is there's got that texture to it, that linen texture, and if you was to get the card and shine it in the light, you would see the linen texture, whereas you don't see any texture here. But yes, this is a beautiful deck. So anyway, yes, so a couple of, because this, even though it doesn't say it anywhere, I'm pretty sure this is Taraka Studios, their same design. If not, then they've got somebody kind of ripping them off. This bag is beautiful as well. I don't always like bags that come with decks, but this one, look at the gold on the inside, the purple and the gold together is really nice. Rose petal literally feels like rose petal if you touch one. Yeah. See, I don't find it sticky. I don't find rose petal sticky at all. For me, if it was sticky, it would leave that that kind of stickiness on your fingers. You know, sometimes there was a deck I was showing today, which is scheduled to go up tomorrow at 7 p.m. And it's got the nice cardstock like US Games, but it feels sometimes a little bit oily. And when you come away, you feel like you've got something on your fingers. Let me just pop that back in. Oh, I can't get it back now. I'll have to do it later. Look how that's stuck. Half in, never mind. I'll sort it. Okay, what else has been happening? Oh, Sandra put the link to Marilyn's channel, so that's lovely. Where are we? I got the Elemental Wisdom second hand and bought the Slavic directly. I'll put it up again as it's scrolling fast. I think that's all the lovely people saying that they've subscribed. Hi, Beth. The Fairy Tale Journey Tarot has some amazing cards like Devil Spider card, but the court cards really have weird faces. Showa said, I had this deck but moved it on as I just couldn't connect with it. It's a very beautiful deck though. It is. Linen cardstock is the best in my opinion, shuffling. Yeah, I like linen. It has to be the right sort of linen though. I like the linen that Usi use, or when you get those expert playing card company decks, that really nice soft linen. I don't like a coarse linen. That just feels really cheap and horrible. But yeah, really nice soft linen where they kind of slide together. That's nice. I think my favourite cardstock is probably US Games. as a general, they always seem to do, in the main, not always, but really nice, decent, sturdy cardstock. But the ultimate is like the Blushing Fool decks. The 1970s paper, soft paper cardstock is, for me, that's the chef's kiss. Oh, and also, Destiny, they do really good cardstock, really nice matte quality cardstock. Hello, Janine, nice to see you. Rose petal adds to the entire experience of connecting with a deck. Yeah. One of my favourite decks is Tarotica. First one, Fairy Tale Tarot. Hello, Jennifer. Nice to see you. Destiny cardstock is lovely. Yeah, it really is. Really good quality. And I do prefer matte cardstock, if I had a preference. Yeah. So what's... Oh, dear me. Got something stuck then. What's everybody been up to? Let me pop the chat open on here. And thank you to everyone who's shown some love and support for Marilyn and subscribed to her channel. Marilyn, wow, you're a natural. I just seen a piece of your review. It sounds professional, right? Yeah. Certainly more professional than I sounded on my first ever video. Gosh. So yeah, and you can always tell, can't you? Even though sometimes people will be very nervous and over time, but usually when somebody comes and they're really confident and professional right from the off, then it's usually a good indicator. Simon, what is the Blushing Fools deck? Because that is like no other. Are there other cardstocks like it? Yes, Lily Rose. I mean, if you get some early 70s decks, I think if you go earlier than that into the 60s, you get some really nasty paper thin, like my original Albano 8 from the 1960s is pretty, and the University Books deck and the first JK Tarot, all really, really thin cardstock. But the one JJ Swiss that I've got from 1970, I could go digging it out, but it would take forever and I'll probably end up... That's not the original one. Oh, it is. Put my hand straight on it. It's the one with the golden base. It just says tarot cards, not one JJ Swiss. But this one as well was made, I think, 1971, I want to say. I'm not sure if it tells me on the card. But this one as well is really nice paper, soft. And the colours really, and the line work are really sharp, and they stand out. This one's still in order from when... So don't use this one. I've got 4 versions of this deck, with this being the oldest, 55 years old now, if it was 1970, or certainly over 50 years anyway. And it's in excellent condition. Yes, Raven's Prophecy is going out of print. I think I had 2. Well, I probably still have got 2. Or did I trade one? I trimmed one and kept one untrimmed. One of the best death cards ever. Iconic image. Also love this devil with the weeping child. I think it's a child. But yeah, love this deck. Well, the only reason I'm showing it is because, yes, that's got the nice cardstock. I've actually got the Blushing Fool behind this laptop, but if I move it, I've set everything up, so it'll be a little bit difficult unless I can grab it. Oh, here we go. So I keep my blushing fool in here, my prized possession. And it's wrapped in this silk, what was a kimono, that was sent to me as a gift from Japan. Oops. Pagan Otherworlds is good cardstock. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is the blushing fool. The fool is on top. And you can see the blush on his face. There was no copyright because this predates US Games putting their copyrights on the cards. And what I love about this deck is it is just paper. It's soft paper, no lamination, and the line work and the colours are just incredible. I mean, look at the line work on the Hierophant. It's clean, it's sharp, there's no blotchiness. And to say this deck is 54 years old, it's the same age as me, and it's in better condition than I am. Again, just beautiful colours. So this is my number one deck. Absolutely love it. It's got the oh shit squiggle on the sun card. Trying to find the Page of Cups because the colours on that particular card are just lovely. But they're so light and soft when you put them down. You know, there's none of that. Oh, it's like butter. Where are we? It's one of them where it's going to be right at the back, isn't it? Not quite. Oh, I've gone past it already. Look at the colour of that sky. It's like a lime green. The Hermit. I mean, the alignment's a little bit off. You can see here the border is thinner on one side than the other, but, you know, this was the 70s, and it could have been worse. It could have been like the, what's it called? Oh my God, what is it called? The one that's the 70s deck. You see the error there as well with the line that goes through the lemniscate. That would be the line of his shoulder. Hoi polloi. Yeah, I can't find it now. Isn't that typical? It was probably right at the beginning, but I just love this deck. What's everybody else's favourite? What's your number one? Your ride or die, your soul deck, however you want to term it. Here it is. Look at how beautiful the blue is in the clothing there and the garments. And again, the line work is really sharp. I tend not to, it's got a 50-year-old smell, but it's a nice 50-year-old smell, you know, like an old book. It's quite aged at the edges, but there's not a single mark on any card. I was so lucky. Number one is and always will be the True Black Tarot. The Rose deck that I know of so far. The Rose deck that I know of so far. Oh, you talking about one of the other decks that's going out of print, Nigel Jackson's. Chat is moving quicker on my iPad than it is on the screen here. It's not moving at all on this. Why not? I can't pick one deck. I have so many. I love my hoi polloi. Got to be up there. Yeah, I was so thrilled to get the hoi polloi finally. At the time, it was the most I'd ever paid for a deck. And it took ages to come, and it got delivered to the wrong place. It was so stressful. Here's the little white book for the Blushing Fool. And oh, this edition is 1972. So 53 years old. 53 years. I think it's my Gaian tarot. I brought the special edition directly from the artist. Wow. So what was the difference with the special edition from the artist? I mean, I love the Gaian. I always have it on my desk because, again, it's just such a great deck. Amazing deck. Love it. Very different, but I like that. I like the fact that it's very different. That's a joyous card, isn't it? Let me grab my iPad because the comments are moving quite fast on the iPad, but not on my laptop for some reason. I'll put everything back later. Don't want to let my coffee get cold either. I'm running out of space. I love so many, like the Solitary Witch and the Cozy Witch. Dame Darcy's new version of her Mermaid Tarot. Is there another version? The one I've got, I think, is the third. It's one in the green box with the matte gold edges. I'm even thinking of getting a backup of Forest Enchantment, as it's my soul deck. Always get a backup of your soul deck, Sandra. Just do. I've got a backup of my Blushing Fool, the yellow box Blushing Fool. I was quite lucky enough to get 2 blue box Blushing Fools. And then Brant couldn't get a blue box, but he'd got 2 yellow boxes. So I said, well, why don't we do a trade for one? So then we'll both have a blue box and a yellow box Blushing Fool. And I think it took you a long time to get around to getting into that one. Oh, did it? I didn't realise. No, I thought Sandra loved it straight away, especially with like the white heart, and if it's the one I'm thinking of anyway. Wasn't there controversy with Dame Darcy's Mermaid Tarot? I think there was back in the day. I don't know if she was accused of copying somebody else's art, and I think she changed a couple of cards, but that's really going from memory, and I could be getting that completely wrong. Just realised I'm still on January as well. And we're on the 2nd day of February now, so I need to turn my calendar over. Oh, look at February's card. Love that. I think that's the card I have for my Deck of the Bastard as well. Again, I'm not going to try and dig that out because I'll be searching for it, but I've always been curious of the forest. Let's hold on. Let's have a look. I've always been curious of the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. Love the images, but those weird renamings that don't make sense always put me off. Yeah, I can get what you're saying there, because sometimes if I feel that names have changed unnecessarily, it can irk me as well. Anybody heard from Brent lately? No, he seems to have disappeared a bit, didn't he? I sent him a couple of messages over the last couple of years, and there was one, it took like perhaps 10 months before he even got back to me. So, yeah, I think he got busy with a new job and all that sort of thing. Sandra says I loved it straight away. I thought you did, and wrote down all the card names and their normal titles to help me get used to the name changes. That's good. Here comes the sun. Little darling. I have the back of Titania's Oracle because that was her first ever deck. And it's like my second skin. Wow. Isn't that Titania's Oracle technically a Lenormand? Hey up, Tom. How are you? Good to see you. Flower Child Tarot. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is we'll do the draw, the prize draw. I've still got Tom's comment up. I need to click on somebody else's to... somebody's saying hello to Tom. I can click on it. You have to go back to the comment to take it off, and if it's scrolled too far up. Simon, do you have the Tarot of the Drowning World deck? I don't know. No, I don't. Hello, Tarot Geek. Yeah, so if you remember, and it's taken a while, I was going to draw it at the end of January, which would have been the live last week. But there wasn't a live last week because I went off on one of my travels. And so it's rolled over to this week. But it's for a giveaway of the Fool's New Journey Tarot. This featured in my top 10 tarot decks of 2024. And this is an additional copy sent by Schiffer Red Feather. And I spoke to them because Cheryl had sent it to me from Oneness Emporium. And I reviewed it, and then they sent it to me, and I said, oh, I've already got it. Do you want me to send it back? Or do you want me to do a giveaway? And they said, yeah, do a giveaway. So this deck has been sent by Red Feather, Schiffer Red Feather. And then my contribution to it is it's open to anybody, anywhere in the world. I will cover the cost of postage to whoever the winner is. So on the video that was my top 10 tarot decks of 2024, I said at the end just to leave a comment what your favorite deck of the year was. And we've had 93 entries into the giveaway. So hopefully, because I've never done this on, because this isn't StreamYard anymore, it's a new platform, but hopefully it will work. And if I go to share screen, you should see a spinning wheel. I will look at my iPad just to make sure that that is happening. And I don't think it is. Can you not see the wheel? Modern technology and all that. This tab is sharing to your screen. So why isn't it doing it? It says it's sharing. How annoying. Let me go back here. I could do it like this. Ah, okay. Now, but then you won't see it as clearly, will you? Let me see if I can switch it round. No, I want it the opposite way. How do I do that? Oh my goodness, why can't we have it the other way? Where that becomes bigger. Ah, yeah, I'm just going to do that. You can still hear me, can't you? So you can see it at least anyway. Yes, I've just checked. You can hear it. All right. So 93 names. And we will click to spin if it lets me do that. Okay, so the winner is Rachel. And I think there were two Rachels. So I went to their at as well and put SV9PQ. So Rachel, if you watch this or you're in the live, you need to just send me a let me put myself on screen, get rid of that. Send me an email to sibri@me.com, SIBRI@me.com with your postal address, full postal address, phone number for customs, and an email. Well, I'll have your email anyway, and then I'll get that in the post to you. So congratulations, Rachel. You've won the Fool's New Journey Tarot. I love this deck. It's not a tarot in the sense of 78 cards. I think there were 60, but it's 60 majors. And you've got the full 22 major arcana cards, but you have kind of like life stages in between them as well. So that's cool. Just seeing if there's any other comments that I might have missed. I'll put comments back up here. Such a brilliant deck. Yes, you really liked it, didn't you, Cheryl? It is a brilliant deck. Lots of people saying congratulations to Rachel. The wheel is so cool. Yeah, I just didn't know how that would work. That was strange because on StreamYard you would just go to a little icon at the bottom that says share screen, and it would share it. But it wasn't sharing it. You then have to go back to yours and add it in to a split screen. So, but anyway, we got there. We got there in the end. I hope so. Just catching up with everything now that we're home from hospital. Oh, that was in response to, will you have the mass market edition of Tempest Tarot in your store eventually? I think it's due out in April. Love the deck. Gosh, Adam, you know some decks, don't you? Bobby's doing well with his recovery. That's good to know. I'm not participating in this one. Yeah, and that was, it was open to people if they wanted to as well. It's the deck's not going to be for everybody, but people saying no wheel. The Fool's New Journey Tarot has such a retro, old school feel to it, yet with a simplistic, modern, minimalist touch to it. Yeah, and that's what I really appreciated about it. It was quite, the artwork is quite simple, but it's quite effective as well. And sometimes what I love about the Fool's New Journey Tarot is I would probably pull around 4 or 5 cards and lay them down almost like a storyboard, because they really lend themselves to giving you almost like a sentence coming together of a situation, a scenario, and I really like it for that. That one actually, wherever, yeah, I was going to show a couple of the cards, but they're in a bag, I believe, somewhere, and I can't grab them straight away. So again, if I go looking for it, it delays time, and I spend half my time on my knees trying to find things down here. So sounds a bit like Lenormand forming a sentence. I know, and this is why I don't understand why my brain can't wrap itself around Lenormand. Robin was showing Patrick Valenza's Lenormand della Luna, and of course I want it because it's Patrick Valenza. And you know, I've got a whole little cubby dedicated, this one here, to Patrick Valenza decks. So part of me thinks, well, I want to support Patrick, because I think he's a fantastic human being, a very generous human being, and a talented artist. I mean, I have his images tattooed to my body, you know. I really respect and admire his work. So part of me wants to get it for that reason. And then, you know, it's a bit like I supported Andrea Asti, who did the Lost Code Tarot, when he brought out his Ghastly Lenormand, because again, I had him on the channel, I interviewed him, and it's just such a lovely person. And he gifted me a tarot deck and book. So I wanted to support him, and I bought the Lenormand. And I've looked through them, and I think they're great, but I just don't read Lenormand. I just see, you know, a ship, a whip, a bouquet, and my brain's like, okay, so what's the whip? And what's the bouquet represent? And then even if I could get one, I think, well, okay, so what's that got? My brain doesn't do that. It doesn't work that way. Whereas tarot, I see an image and I know what it's telling me. But because things represent something else in Lenormand, I just really struggle with it. I want that Lenormand from Patrick. It's amazing. It is. And his artwork's amazing, and I want it for the artwork. But so Robin was showing it, and I thought, let's just go and have a look. And there is an Etsy, because, you know, he doesn't ship to the UK other than through the Etsy shop. And it was 70-something pounds to get it. And for a Lenormand deck that I'm not going to read with, I just thought that's a lot of money for a deck of 36 cards. Like I say, that I'm probably not going to use more than just a couple of times to look through it. And we all have to be more mindful, don't we, in this world, modern age, with cost of living increases and things like that, what we spend our money on. And so in the last couple of years, particularly, I have been more conscious of what I'm buying. That said, I did buy a deck last weekend that I'll show you. It's an RWS deck, and it's coming from Europe, so the postage wasn't too expensive, but it was still more than €100 to get it. But it's a special edition thing, so I'll show you when it comes. I have too many Lenormands, but I have to get Patrick's. See, I've got a ton of Lenormand decks. Well, I say a ton. I've got about 18, I think, at the last count. Because some are beautiful. And one in particular, which is the 1889, is just one of the most beautiful decks I own, period, of Oracle, Tarot, Lenormand. It's just so beautiful. Simon, do you read Mildred Payne, or have you trouble reading that too? No, I haven't read it for a while. I didn't like them when... Well, no, that's not true. I didn't like them. I love them. but I struggled with them when they was really tiny. So I really did appreciate like the bridge-sized version. But and I know some people have done videos about using it as like a Lenormand, but I didn't. If I was using it, because I created my own book. Bear with. Oh. So, I'm going to drop things everywhere. Got some blue tack stuck. The lovely Elaine gifted me this a few years ago now. Probably about 3, maybe 4 years ago. About 4 years ago, she sent me this beautiful journal. It's leather, and it's got inside here. It's got a key lock, really cool, which slots in there. And it's the pages. Look at this. So what I used it for was to create, because when Mildred Payne was first released, it was released in stages. And so I'd got all these pieces of parchment paper. So what I did was I just I used this. So in here, it gives me the keywords. So for instance, card 18 is water, and it was purity, change, life, subconscious thoughts, mysterious feelings, etc. The trumpet, spiritual vibrations, communication with the departed, an awakening, a judgment. Of course, we think of the judgment card, don't we, in the trumpet? So, and then I added a few of my own as well. So they're not all that was in the parchment paper. But look how gorgeous this book is. So in answer to your question, Robin, if I was using Mildred Payne, I would use this book. You know, if I was struggling, and this would give me some keywords to go on. Oh, look at that! I've got more stuff out. I keep pulling things that I've got to put back afterwards, and I always have to do because I do a card pull. I always have to, because my dinner's in the slow cooker. So I have to finish the live, then I have to, while it's fresh in my mind, write up my little reading of the card that we've pulled, or the tile that we've pulled, choose a card to go with it, upload it to Facebook, re-put everything back here, go and have my dinner. Time I sit down, it's about 9:30, and I'm eating my dinner. But hey-ho, it's good fun being here. Tarot is more natural to me than Lenormand, says Marilyn. Yeah, I agree. And I think for me, tarot came first. 1987. That's 38 years ago now. And when something is more familiar to you, then obviously it kind of becomes your spiritual tool of preference, doesn't it? It's like runes. I discovered runes in 2001 at a Mind Body Spirit Fair. I've still got my first set of runes, which were on hematite crystals, and I bought all the books, and I loved using runes. I don't tend to use them as much now. And then I got into OM, and I love the OM staves that I've got. They're expensive, but they were foraged for me. You place your order. Is it Spirit of Old, Sandra, the company? And then they go and forage and make your runes, your OM staves for you. And the smell of them, incredible. Oh dear. But tarot is the one that just rises above all other tools. I don't understand the message in Lenormand. Yeah. Simon, Lenormand Answers Expanded Edition on Etsy has the keywords on the cards. Oh, that's cool. Tarot Geek says, I don't use Lenormand decks. I always think I'm going to start using them, but never do. I use my tarot, playing cards, oracles, but never get into Lenormand. I don't know why. That's exactly like me. Every time I buy a Lenormand deck, I think I'll buy it, and it might encourage me to learn to use it. And then I don't. That's why I probably won't get it. It's a shame because I do like it. What the cost, Sandra, or because you probably won't read Lenormand? I do have to be careful with money. Yeah, we all do now, don't we? And you have to think about, you know, and I've said so many times, no judgment on anyone, because the first year I discovered YouTube, I think I bought 50 something tarot decks in a year. But I'm in a position where I can, because I don't have many vices. I don't drink at home. I'll have a social drink out with friends. I don't smoke. I don't take any recreational drugs. I don't have a party lifestyle. I'm very much a home person. I'm a hermit in my hermit's cave, and my hobby and interest is spirituality, paganism, tarot. So therefore, what I spend my money on is going and seeing places of interest, historical places of interest, and playing with my decks. So there's certainly no judgment, but I think for me now, I got to the point where I was like, okay, I've got all these decks. I can't possibly use them all the time. I like the fact that they're there, and I've talked about it before, it's my library of where I can scan across and think, I've not used you for a while. Let's pull you off the shelf. I like the fact that I can do that. But also I have to be mindful of, if I keep buying decks that I'm perhaps not going to use as much as I think I'm going to use them, then there's something else I'm not spending money on. And I've really enjoyed the last year for going away and doing trips, because they're not cheap as well. You have to travel to get to these places. You invariably pay to go into castles or places of interest, or you buy souvenirs or whatever. I've also had some lovely holidays. New York was amazing, but it was expensive, and it took a lot of saving for. And then we go to Glastonbury every year, and we're going to Whitby this year. And so you do have to think about, okay, what do I want? Do I want to buy a deck that I think I'll use, but probably won't use it much past the first couple of weeks of having it, because then there'll be another deck? Or do I want to create a memory and save to go somewhere and see a little bit of the world? So that was a bit of a ramble, wasn't it? Welcome, Esoteric Echoes. Hello, everybody. I'm new here. So saying hello as not to be a lurker. My name is Kyra. Well, lovely to meet you, Kyra. And lurk no more. You're amongst friends. So you'll get a lovely warm welcome from everybody. And thank you for putting your hand up and saying, I'm here. Lero says, Simon, later on, please Google Fairy Godmother, Titania's fortune cards. It explains all the connections, and I think you'll understand a lot better. I think that's the one, Kelly Bear. I don't know why I said it like that. I think that's the one my friend Kelly Bear's got, and she loves it, with quite bold, strong colours, isn't it? Yeah. So if it is the same one, but I'm currently debating Paul's Moon, but having trouble getting over the $95 price. Not even sure if that includes shipping. Wow. Yeah, that's steep. And again, you've got to weigh up, haven't you? I mean, for me, and I'm lucky because it was sent. I didn't purchase it. It was sent for review. But again, that's one of my top 10 decks. And if I was doing an all-time again, it would probably creep in there. Certainly my favorite medieval style deck. It's beautiful. Did I take it to Glastonbury, Sandra? You saw that one, didn't you? I know you're not over keen on medieval decks because there's a lot of religious iconography, isn't there? But oh, Sandra's on the same page. I have a few trips coming up that I need money to save for. Adam says I stick to tarot. I don't do oracles or Lenormand. Don't want to spread myself too thin or lose valuable money and time that can be spent on tarot only. That's you've thought it through, and that's a fair point. I think I only have 5 or 6 Lenormands, but I don't take them out often enough. It seems like a lot of us are in the same camp. 18 is hardly any. 18 is probably 17 too many if you don't read Lenormand. I want the Beast Oracle, but it's just way too expensive for me to get it over here. Yeah. So they come together. Well, one was supposed to be a companion, so that's Tarot Paul's Moon, which is, I mean, like I said, it's beautiful. And then the Beasts, medieval Oracle of the Beasts. Yeah, and they're great, they're beautiful decks. But again, it's the investment into it, spending that amount. Love my tarot and oracles. Must have both as I use them together. What's everyone's thoughts on Cat Full of Spiders tarot deck by Christina Ricci? I'm on the fence about it. I don't really get it, if I'm honest. I've got it, but it doesn't call to me. Marilyn says, I've begun pairing oracle decks with tarot decks, and I love the way they so often complement each other and tie into the message. Yeah. See, I tend to just use them as to finish a tarot reading. I'll very often pull an oracle card just to kind of give me an overview or an additional voice. Is a good way to think of it. I printed the PDF for Mildred Payne and made a little notebook with all the images and meanings on them. It's a good idea. I use Lenormand as headline of tarot readings. Brilliant. Tom says, I guess with tarot you can have an entire concept or message with one card rather than needing to combine multiple cards to get a concept. I guess with tarot you can have an entire concept or message with one card rather than needing to yeah, as opposed to Lenormand. Yeah, I'm with you. Meritus just comes out with it. I can't be bothered to remember Lenormand meanings. Love it. So I got a set with the keywords on to use until I can remember. And that's a great idea. I mean, there's so many starter tarot decks, isn't there, that you can buy that have meanings on them. which I find that really helpful for beginners. I used 3 runes this morning along with my cards. Oh gosh, am I that far back where we're talking about runes? I think we are. I think I've stalled. Love runes. I'm doing readings with them right now on Reddit. That's cool. Oracle, not Echo. Cuppa cards. Yeah, there's the whole, that's the German kind of equivalent, isn't it? And then we've got Sibylla and things like that, and the fortune cards. And Robin says there's nothing like the tarot system. I can even apply it to playing cards if I have nothing else. So I'll never be without, even if my entire collection disappears. Yeah, I agree. I love my spirit of old Oghams. Spirit of old, yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they? I've got them underneath here. And every so often I just open the bag that I've got them in and inhale them. I also love Ogham. I'm more connected, I think, to Ogham because they're of this land as well, aren't they? With Welsh names for them, that's cool. The only rune deck I have is James R. Eads with the set. That's cool. The cost. Oh, yes, in answer to the question earlier, tarot is your vice. That's the bit where I must have been saying I don't have any vices. Now I've got ABBA playing in my head. You heard me saying that tarot was my only vice. Lay all your love on me. It's one of the best ABBA songs. IA, I'm not quite sure what that is, Chewy. IA. Simon, can't you write the costs of decks off as a business expense? Yes. I used to do that when I had a business in tarot, but I closed it down. And yeah, I used to keep all the receipts and everything, give it to my accountant who would, write off the VAT from them anyway. And I did that for 3 years, or maybe 2.5, but there were certainly 3 tax periods where I had to do that. When I had a shop where I did tarot readings. I had a plan to learn Lenormand last year, says Tricia, but that never happened. I think I'll stick with tarot. Yeah, I think sometimes when we do that, when we say, oh, this is my year for doing this, some people do it, but then I often smile. I've seen content creators in the past say, I'm going to learn this year. And then I smile to think, I wonder if you will. And then invariably at some point in the future, it's like, I was going to do this. And I'm the same completely. Tara Geek says, I think travel is one of the best ways one can spend money. It's so wonderful. Yeah. It gives you something to look forward to as well, going away, doesn't it? And I don't necessarily mean going abroad, although I do want to do more of that, because until I went to New York, I'd not flown for 24 years. But there's a lot of places in this country I've not seen yet. I really want to go down to Cornwall. I want to go to Boscastle and places like that, and I want to go to the Museum of Witchcraft, and so there's lots of places I still want to go over here as well. What's the deck you want the most that you don't have? I've got a couple. I've got a few. I think we've all got those lists, haven't we? Of where you kind of like, oh, I really, really want to get that. Nothing where I'm like, where I'm thinking, because I think what I'm going to say, what the best way to answer that is, I could get a deck if I wanted to get it, if they're available. But then, like, again, it's going back to argument, and most of the ones that I want are overseas, and it doubles the price, so I can't justify it. That I want it that much that I'll justify that. But I guess the unicorn deck for me, the one that ever elusive deck, is the Greenwood Tarot, and I'm just hoping that they do bring it back. They've talked about it for years. I think somebody asked me this recently, but yeah, that's one deck that I would love to get. But you know, if you see it on eBay and places like that, it's ridiculous. So that's probably the answer to that. What is the deck that you want the most that you don't have? And then we've all got wish lists, haven't we, of other decks on there, but yeah, that one is top of it. Saving for Whitby and Glastonbury. Nancy says, I need to be more careful about my debt buying. I have been thinking of sending a few to better homes. Where's it gone? Why did that go? And to concentrate on the ones I use regularly. Good plan. What deck do you have that came from the furthest away or had the long story? The furthest place for me is Australia. We've been in the UK. That's the other side of the world. And I've had quite a few decks from Australia. Usi is from Australia. I think. The first, the Inner Hue decks, before they became mass market. So Connected and Free Oracles version, first edition and second edition, and then the Lumina Tarot. That seemed to take forever, and because I didn't even have a channel then, I just fell in love with it. And I thought, oh, that's such a lot of money. But I got some Christmas money in 2016, so I bought it. But it seemed to take forever to come. I think it took about a month or something like that. And I was like, oh, so can't wait for this deck. I've got two copies of the indie. It's gorgeous. Hello, Laurie. Nice to see you. We're more or less coming up to the end now. I'm going to do a card pull shortly. I would love to go to New York. I live in Glastonbury. Oh, gosh, you live in Glastonbury. Wow, 2 miles out. Wow. I mean, you can't get more opposite, probably, between Glastonbury and New York. But that's probably why you want to visit, to see something completely different. I mean, there were a couple. Robin took me to a couple of witchy shops called Namaste. And then we did find one in the village on my last night. I forgot what it was called now, but it's the New York's. Kim, if she's here, will know, because she was the one who said, I really want to go and find it. Was it Enchantments, which was New York's oldest occult shop. But when we walked in, they were completely upside down because all their shelves had collapsed. And it was like trying to put everything back up. So we didn't stay in too long, but it was still cool to see it. Tony says, that's the problem though, isn't it? If it's not for collectible reasons, is it fair to use a deck for 2 weeks every 3 years? This is where I am at with my collection, and it's not that large. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because having a collection of decks does give you that opportunity to reconnect in time. And my worry is decks that I've let go in the past, I've had the call to work with again, and I've ended up rebuying them anyway. So I think to myself, I'd rather have it and have it on a shelf. I might not use it for a couple of years, but then it's there for when I want to use it. Similarly, in my bedroom, I've got a walk-in closet, and in the walk-in closet, there's 3 bookcases full of DVDs. That's my library of films. Now, I don't sit watching them all the time, and now we've got streaming services, so you can find them. But if I think to myself, like I wanted to watch the Quentin Crisp 2 films, An Englishman in that's the second one. First one was The Naked Civil Servant. Second one was An Englishman in New York. And they're not available anywhere to stream, but I've got them. So I pulled them off the shelves and I watched them a couple of weeks ago. And it's the same, isn't it? It's there for when you want to, bookshelves, when you want to read a book again. So I like having them. That said, it can't keep going on. And that's why I am now, if I get a deck and it doesn't resonate with me, I'm putting them into a box. And then when people like Sandra come or I go somewhere, I can take them and say to people, does anybody want these? You know? I love my Paul's Moon. Tower of Paul's Moon is epic. Such a beautiful, eye-catching deluxe dynamo of a deck. Would love to live closer to Glastonbury. Yeah. I'm so behind on the comments. Let's see if I can fast through a couple of them because I need to wrap this up soon. What's on your pendant, Simon? So, Tom, this is a gift that Keith, who is Giselle's partner, Giselle Madwich, and when we went to Glastonbury in October, November last year, he gifted it to me and he handmade it. And it's the Glastonbury tour, and it's made out of copper. It's got these beautiful colour tones of gold and copper. Look at the back, beautiful. And it's the Glastonbury tour with the moon. Oh, beautiful St. Michael's Tower on the top. And when he gifted it me, I thought, oh wow, I was so touched. And he's got an Instagram account called Fluky Craft. Maybe Sandra, as a mod, would perhaps put a link if you can. So yeah, but really, really lovely. Hi, Dustin. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Medieval Scapini is my favorite. I have 2 copies. Yeah, great deck. Adam says the problem with the cost of decks is that the sellers sometimes don't realize the extra cost involved, not just in shipping, but customs. Customs cost can be brutal. I just paid 91 euros. Yeah, and they're legally obliged to put the cost of the deck on. But whether this is true or not, somebody in another chat I was in said they're only legally obliged to put the cost to them on. So, for instance, if a deck like the one I bought, I'm worrying about it because I think it was 85 euros. If they put 85 euros on, then I'm looking at paying around 20 extra pounds on top of £25 shipping. Whereas if the cost of making that deck was 20 euros and they put 20 euros on, I'll be fine. I won't have to pay any. So it's getting that message out really, but some people will put the cost price on, other people put the value on, and then when the value goes on, I don't think they realise that here in the UK we have to pay a lot of money to get it. Why would you need a Christina Ricci deck when you have a Back to the Future, Mean Girls, and Clueless Ones on the way? Are they on the way? Oh my gosh. Grateful for experiences last year. Got to meet you, Simon. Only brought one tarot deck last year, but I do have a few in my wish list for this year. Yeah, a highlight of my year, Kim, was meeting you. You were everything I thought you would be. Just sweet, kind, gentle soul. Probably can drink me under the table with cocktails. But yeah, and you know, because we've communicated ever since I started this channel, it's always amazing when you get to meet someone in real life. And yeah, hope to meet you next year as well if you come to England. Looking forward to it. Does anyone know if Deck of the She by David Spangler's out of print? Deck of the She. I was thinking the She Tarot then. I was like, that's not David Spangler, but I'm not sure about that one. Here's another one with my name. Simon, I use Lenormand deck in reverse to you. I do a 9-card spread and use the tarot cards to extend the reading. That's cool. That's really cool. Just scrolling through. I can't believe I got so behind. How did I get waylaid? Was it when I was doing the spinning wheel for the giveaway, or when I was talking about the book? Who doesn't love ABBA? Yeah, that was a highlight as well. Was that 2 years ago now? 18 months ago, I went to see the ABBA Voyage in London. The Avatars, amazing moment. Loved it. Yeah, and who doesn't love ABBA? ABBA are just timeless, aren't they? It's 52 years since 51 years since they won Eurovision with Waterloo, but still iconic today. The decks I most want that missed out on are Yoki Yoki Tarot and Blood Moon Tarot. These are the only two that drive me bonkers being able to get. I'll send you a Greenwood. Oh, if only. And I have got the NPC ones, but yeah, they're just, the quality is not great. Greenwood is definitely the ultimate unicorn, right? Hello, please let me know, what do you think about the Mystic Palette Tarot? I quite like it. I mean, I have said in the past that if you've got one Ciro Marchetti deck, you don't need any more, and I do kind of stand by that a bit. However, I thought Encore was brilliant. I never actually got Encore. I don't think it was released mass market either, but I watched a walkthrough of that and I was like, oh wow, that's beautiful. Gem Phoenix, when she came and stayed with me in the UK, gifted me, oh gosh, the one Something Dreams. Can't think what it's called now, but it's got dreams in the title. And that was because that was a gift that I really enjoyed that. But the Mystic Palette ones are are great. I've got the colour version and the sepia version that Cheryl sent. And actually, I really like them. I like them both. But, you know, and it's like Robert M. Place. His decks are so iconic and so recognisable as Robert M. Place decks, but I just love them. And so I guess if you love Cherry Marchetti and his work, you want them. Just like I was talking earlier about the Lenormand deck from Deviant Moon. You know, whatever Robert M. Place brings out, I'm there, because especially now with his, you know, his beautiful latest releases in the linen boxes and beautiful cardstock, and gorgeous. Universe, find me a copy of the Slow Hollow Tarot, please. Can you believe I traded that? I can't believe I traded that deck. I mean, it was a 3-way trade. I traded it. There were 3 of us, and I traded it with someone who traded their deck with someone else who traded their deck with me. And I ended up with a 1960 whatever 1960s version of the Albano weight. And then when it came, I was like, yeah, it's nice, everything, but it's paper thin. But it's great to have a 1960s. I'm not going to complain. I've got a 1960s Albano weight, but I do miss the Slow Hollow. Definitely Greenwood. Yeah. Hello, Richie. I've not seen you for ages. How are you doing? How's your new year going back at school? Isn't it tough? Are you ready for February half term? But I hope you're doing okay, and lovely to see you. There's one. So Mark Ryan was posting that he had gotten image files of Greenwood, so probably yeah, but he's been saying that for a few years, and I follow his Facebook group, unless I've just not been getting notifications, but this seems to have gone radio silence. But yeah. And then he did say that there'll only be a very limited number as well, and I can just imagine there'll be such a mad scramble. It will remind me of that night where Chris Ann released the Lightseers, and they went on sale at midnight, which was about 4 a.m. here, because the clocks hadn't gone back. And I remember setting my alarm, and I was like, oh my gosh, got to get it on. Living in Glastonbury is a dream. Gosh, I'm so far behind. Probably a stupid question. No questions are stupid, but if you could, would you move your hermit's cave to Glastonbury? Not currently, because I've got a job that I absolutely love. I love my job. It's long hours. It can be stressful, but the sense of satisfaction, I've never had a job where I get job satisfaction like I have. I've got a brilliant team. And whilst it's spread out across a geographical area, unless they ever open bases down that way, I couldn't leave my job. I just absolutely love it. So yeah, but maybe retire there. It's funny, we all have the Greenwood files. I'm trying to figure out how to get the file. See, I just dragged them I can't remember. I mean, it was years ago, but I just dragged them all into the little square, and they all populated. Dead simple. So I don't know, but maybe it's changed a little bit. I think there were rights issues. Well, again, it's only my understanding. Doesn't mean it's right. But from what I understood, Cheska made her images available. She uploaded them and said people can use them. I think she kind of backed away from the world of tarot for whatever reason. But I don't think Mark was happy about that, and he's not the artist, but he's got intellectual rights to it, and also I think the font was his, so it wasn't as straightforward. And then I think the MPC files used a different font, but I think he was able to say, actually, I've got, intellectual rights to this. How close are you on your 1,000 one in, one out plan? I think I'm still a way off. If I look at my Libib. So, oh gosh, 38 away. 962. And then I'm dreading that. Keith's work is brilliant. It really is. Keith is so talented. Oh, we're up to the bit where I showed that. Gosh, I'm scrolling quite fast. Just gonna look for. Oh, this is Kim. Yes, Sandra gave Simon. Have Simon bring you with him when we meet London. Sandra's literally a tube ride away from London, so that would definitely happen. Sandra and I met up in London last year. I think we should do that again this year, Sandra, if you can handle it. Oh, by the end of the day, we'd walk that far. Sandra wasn't happy with me. Okay, Simon, do you have or have you seen the Maraloon deck? I've seen it, yeah. I have. I don't have it. What's this? Cheryl says, talking of Lenormand, that this might hurt Lenormand has been cancelled for publication on Liminal 11. Union Square Publishing are looking into buying it if possible. Oh, I wonder why. Liminal 11 haven't done a lot recently, have they? I review for Liminal 11, and it's been a good year, I think, since they sent anything. I've only been waiting for the Deviant Moon Oracle for 2 years now. I don't get what the delay is, because it's been done. Yeah, it's 4 years, maybe 5 years that Patrick's been sending out like the Madwoman card with his, when you buy directly from him, which is taken from that Oracle. And I don't understand why it's taking so long to come out. Really don't. Because I think it was with US Games a couple of years ago. Looks like we should all retire to Glastonbury. Yeah. Oh, I'm catching up because it's a bit about my job. That's wonderful. Sammy loves job. Wonderful and rare. It's taken a long time. I've done a lot of jobs. No, I haven't done a lot of jobs actually, because I tend to stay places. I did 3 years is the shortest, which was my first job at a theme park. That can't last forever. I did 10 years with Granada Group. I did 15 years in my previous job, and I've done 6 years so far in this job. So I do tend to stay, but this job in particular is the best. I heard Liminal 11 is going out of business. That could be why then. Simon, please message me after the talk. Joe Schmo. Love that name. How do I message you? Are you in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group? Because if you are, you could always send me a message in there, whatever it is you want to ask me, or by all means, send me a message. Yeah, I've got to go. So, oh gosh, it's way after past. I wonder why my tummy was rumbling. Okay, I'm just going to quickly skim through. Buy up to 999. Never purchased 1,000. There'll always be room for more. Yeah, I mean, I am going to start passing them on. If I get a deck now that I think actually I'm not going to work with that, then I'll pass it on to somebody, and then somebody else will get the benefit of it as well. Oops, I've just lost the image. There we go. Tom says, Simon, there is a tarot history exhibition in London that has just started. I've seen it. Definitely worth a trip down. I think it's only on till February though, is it? Probably be the summer before I can get there. Kristen's been with her current job for 15 years. You think I'd like it or something? Right. Let's pull a tarot tile. Something that we need to focus on for the week ahead. Remember to share them in the Facebook group. Oh, we have the King of Pentacles. I need to get it without the light. How can I move this light? So anyway, that's okay, isn't it? So King of Pentacles, message for the week then. So I think we're in the right place. We're experiencing a successful period in our lives right now. Enjoy what you're doing. Know that you're on the right path. Don't allow those doubts to creep in. I think the message for this week is not to look back, not to hold on to regrets, or let any sense of guilt creep in. I think sometimes when we experience a sense of accomplishment, we feel that we've been successful for something, and instead of enjoying that moment and being proud of our achievements, very often we allow guilt to come in, or think about having certain regrets that took us along the journey to that point. Remember who you are. Remember what you're capable of. And if you've been having those questions in your mind at the moment about, you know, where do I go now? What is it that I do? Just take the time to enjoy the successful period, but to carry on with that spirit of optimism, with that spirit of I've got this, I can do this. The other thing I'd say is when we do feel that we're in a position of success, we sometimes can't quite believe it, and we might start to question, how long is this going to last? Well, what I would say is, with the King of Pentacles coming this week, is there's no reason why that should change. You know, stay true to yourself, continue going, and enjoy the successes that you've rightfully earned. I'll put that there so I don't forget to pull a card. Thank you. It's been, you know, this particular Cuppa catchment cards, it's been quite relaxed. I haven't, necessarily gone through a lot of stuff. It's just been nice to read your comments and interact with you all. So thank you for being here. I have got a video that I've already recorded that's going to go out tomorrow at 7, which is a really fun, cool deck that Cheryl has sent. So do look out for that. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be. And remember, have a blessed Imbolc as well.